Hey everyone, welcome back to the IwEP Network, or if it's your first time,
Thank you for hanging out with us.
thank you so much for choosing this podcast, and feedback is always welcome. So make sure to check the links below for all social media links, audio and video versions of this show, and merch. We look forward to hearing from you and hearing that feedback, and enjoy the show.
Down from the clouds inside my sleep. Sometimes if they are fake, they still dig deep. And when I follow them to the back of my mind, I find that I've gone too far this time. Too far this time.
Yeah. That is the intro. Yep. Hey, we are live. Here we are. We got some fun stuff. Let's pay the bills here, as I say, in the business, right? Want to thank our sponsor. If my phone lets me pull it up real quick, you know how it goes here on the show. We're very free flowing here. Thank you to Abaddon Tattoo Studio. Is a unique professional experience nestled in the small town of Pine Grove, Pennsylvania. They provide high quality tattoos and piercings in a relaxed, professional, and sterile environment. If you'd like to contact them, book an appointment, or all that fun stuff, you can see the links below. They do an amazing job. Also, if you follow them on Instagram, they have hyperlinks to every one of their tattoo artists, so you can see what everyone there is capable of. Once again, they're all super talented, so check them out. We're drinking some beers here. I already got my beer burp out of the way. You're going to get those. That happens.
This actually tastes good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's a good segue, because we're gonna be drinking these beers tomorrow on Bang and Beers podcast. There you go.
There you go.
So you already have a pre-review.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you check the links below, our guests, all their stuff is linked below. You can go check it out. Follow them on YouTube, Instagram, all that fun stuff. Make sure you go do that. Take a couple seconds out and show them some support. If you want to support us, we do have a Patreon. We have merch pages. You can buy some cool things like that banner and that stupid face on it on T-shirts. That's my face. They can't get those pins. Those pins are exclusively for people on the show.
I'm about to put my pin on.
Yeah, so these are let me see yours real quick. So these were pins that were made for us. They're only in limited quantities. I don't know why I said that, but it says I was on interviews with Everyday People, and all I got was a lousy button, and they were made by my Mike Banner.
I can't make this stuff up.
Yeah, there it is. If you are watching, make sure you hit that share button, like Jen did in the chat. We'll put her up there. See, look at this fanciness. Watch. Bang. Nope, show. So Jen said she shared. We'll give her a shout out.
Hey.
Thank you, Jen.
Jenny from the block.
Yeah, Jenny. She's a Patreon person, which segues to my next thing. So I want to give a quick shout out to our Patreon subscribers. We got some new ones. So thank you so much to the PA Apollo Driver podcast for that shout out. Hireth and Other Words podcast. Thank you for subscribing. We want to thank Jay. We want to thank Austin Blackwell, Jennifer Myers, and Keith Skater. So thank you guys so much for being Patreon subscribers and helping us grow and showing support and love to us to keep this going and keep the lights on here in our exclusive studio that's not in the kitchen. Yeah. So you guys, do you guys want to introduce yourselves?
Miss Lili.
Miss Lili?
La chingona, la rapera.
I have no idea what you gotta help me with this kind of stuff here.
It's my slogan.
What's it translate to?
So, la Miss Lili, la rapera, más chingona con la rima buena. That's like Miss Lili, the rapper, the hardest with the good rhymes,
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Good luck following that.
Yeah, right.
That's a
No, I'm her brother Christian. I do go by Khemist Graphics. Khemist. I do some graphic work, whatever, help her out, whatever she has to do with music.
Nice, man. How big is your youngest brother now? He's got to be huge.
Oh my God. He's what, 6?
6'1".
He's already 6 feet. Yeah.
Jesus Christmas.
He's 15. No, he just turned 16 because he just got his permit. But he is 16. Shoe size is 14. 15 now?
15.
15.
I don't know if you're aware of this story. We're going to start off with this one because it's my favorite story to tell. I was at your house hanging out one night, and it was just me. I believe your dad. Was it your dad?
What?
It was me, your dad, and your brother.
Oh, yeah.
We were all sitting in the living room watching TV. Now, once again, I have no idea what's being said. But he was watching this prank show. And it was the most wild prank show I've ever seen in my life. Like, the things they were doing to these poor people were amazing. So the prank that they were doing on this episode is they would get these really, really hot girls in tiny dresses and high heels, and I guess telling them they're going to a party. And this is me just translating because I have no idea the setup because I don't know what they're being said. So they go upstairs, and there's a dude literally that hung himself. Like, he's on a rope, dead. Like, and they freak out, and then he just like comes alive and scares them, and then they're in high heels running out of the building. And I was like, this is awesome. Like, Spanish TV is the best. I think it was a Telemundo probably, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the whole time we're there, your littlest brother, I think he knew like 3 words in English. He knew like hi, funny, and something else. So he just kept coming up to me and looking at me, funny. And I'm like, very, very funny. Like,
Funny.
and I was there for like an hour and a half just watching TV and couldn't communicate to anyone in the room except funny, watching a Spanish prank show. It was a great night. Like, it sounds like it was. I honestly had a blast. I was playing with toys. I was watching TV, and all I said the entire night was funny. We just said funny back to each other for an hour and a half. And now he's 6 foot tall. That's crazy.
270, I think.
Really? Jesus. Yeah, you got a little closer when you talk.
Yeah, it's like 270.
Oh, why did I lose you now?
Oh, yeah.
That's why. I'm turning the wrong one up. You're good now. Sorry. He said 270. Yeah. So we knew each other for a while. Since probably I met you before I met Heidi. It goes back that deep.
Oh, yeah, it was prom, you said.
Yeah. So I drove you to prom.
Prom.
Yeah. In my Dodge Neon, my red Dodge Neon. But even before that, like, we hung out. We went mini golfing, to movies and stuff. I was dating a girl at the time. We're still friends, but I was dating a girl at the time, and she went to throw candy at your date and hit you with it. And you gave her
she
that.
almost hit me with
Almost hit you.
Yeah.
And then I sold her right out. I was like, it was her. No,
yeah, you did.
I was like, I'm not fighting Lili. Fuck that. Yeah, that was. And then I met Heidi, and then you and Heidi graduated the same year. And I drove you to prom, and then went and met Heidi, but I wasn't Heidi's prom date. Then I dropped her off, and then went to my cousin's tattoo studio and hung out.
You dropped Heidi off?
I dropped you guys off.
Oh, okay.
And then they were in a limo. You guys,
Oh, right,
You
right.
guys got low budget Tony Blackwell as your
Right.
chauffeur. Yeah. And then I went to a tattoo studio, and then came and picked you guys up later.
Yeah.
It was fun. But we go back, and then we kind of haven't seen each other for a long time.
Right.
And then
long time.
Just we were like Facebook friends and stuff.
Right.
And then I started back at a job, and you see me, I see you, but we're doing the whole mask thing, and I was like,
yeah.
Is that you? Is that you? And we kind of pulled it
I was
down.
like, what?
Yeah. Well, I have the longer hair now, so
Yeah.
yeah. And then we
Yeah,
kind of
different,
reconnected, and
definitely.
you were telling me a little about what you're doing musically, and I was like, well, this all sounds like fun stuff. You should come
And
on the
you were
podcast.
telling me about you.
Yeah. You were on TV. I'm just sitting in my podcast kitchen studio.
No, but this is great.
It's fun. I have a
I've
good
been
time with
seeing
it.
a couple. You've done a lot of episodes, and I was like,
Yeah. We
"What's up?"
about 3 years now. Doing it about 3 years. So you were on it's like America's Got Talent,
Right.
but a different network and
Right.
and a Spanish. Where exactly did you have to go to film this, and what exactly is this show called?
To California. It was in. What's the name of the street where I think what's her name is there?
Oh,
That's right by Hollywood.
Burbank.
Burbank.
Okay.
That's where it was. And it was called Tengo Talento, Mucho Talento, which translates to I have talent, a lot of talent. And
It sounds way better in Spanish. If
Tengo
they put
Talento,
that,
Mucho Talento.
if they put that on a billboard,
rhymes
it's like
too.
I have talent, so much talent, and like
Yeah.
this is the new show. Like, get out of here.
That's what it is with when you translate either way. Sometimes it's English, sometimes to Spanish, and sometimes vice versa. And it just does not sound the same. And sometimes there's words that there is no translation. There is no word.
So you have to.
You
make
have
up-
to exactly. You have
Yeah.
to
Word.
explain it. And it's just sometimes it's like, if only you understood.
Yeah. And I
then
don't.
you would understand.
And the meaning.
Funny. You know?
Funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could imagine that being on the billboard. I have talent, so much talent. Like, I'm not watching that show.
Right.
They didn't even think of a name. They're just, but in Spanish, it sounds awesome.
I don't even remember how I came across that. I remember I was looking at Wildin' Out. They had auditions or whatever, and I was like, oh, I'm clicking on it. I was like, I'm funny, like, I could freestyle, like, I'm perfect for I fit. So then I seen that they had auditions, and by the time I clicked on it, I was like, oh, this is from last year? The date passed already? Like, So then I was like, okay. And then that gave me an idea, like, to start looking around. And next thing you know, like, I scrolled up and I seen that show. And I was like, okay, this is a talent show. Like, I know the judges, but I don't know, like, I never seen it before.
Who were the judges?
The judges is Don Cheto, which is a rapper. Ana Barbara, which is a singer.
Is that the girl in, like, the I'm going to say the booby dress?
Right.
Yeah. Every talent show has to have the attractive
Right, yeah.
booby dress girl. Yeah.
Well, they have another one, Chiquis Rivera, which is Jenny Rivera's daughter, legend. And Pepe Garza, which she's a very good writer. So
Who is the cartoon character dude?
Don Cheto, the first one I named,
Okay.
the rapper.
Yeah, he's nuts. He looks like an old prospect. You remember Toy Story? Remember the prospector in Toy Story?
Prospector.
The guy who was
I'm Mexican, so
he was
explain that.
he was the bad guy in Toy Story 2. He was the one that like had he looked like a miner, and he had the big, huge, white, bushy. Like it just clicked me because we were just talking about it before. Let me pull him up real quick. On my
he had
phone.
a white mustache.
Yes,
Okay.
Yeah, Toy Story prospector. I'm gonna Google it. Yeah, it's hilarious. Now that like this dude, he looks like the Mexican version of him.
Yeah.
Oh yes, he does.
Yeah. But I was talking to you about, like, is he like real, like because he has huge bushy eyebrow, like he looked like you said it's more like it's like a character.
It's a
Yeah.
character, yeah.
How much interaction do you get with the judges? I want to pull back a little bit of the curtain if you're allowed.
That's a good question. So you're there, like you do sound check. Obviously, they're not there during sound check, but so they're already like walking you through. You're gonna come in here, you're gonna walk out through there. But before the show actually starts, the day of the show, we don't do sound check again, but we do go back to practicing like everybody in file and, places. They're already coming in, sitting down. So you're already like seeing them, take the pictures, like interacting with each other, and they're watching you. So when you come out and you're practicing how you're walking, you're looking at them, so you get a chance to be like, hey, but not too much because they're already like practicing to film you. And so you get to see them then. If you're lucky enough, we were in the trailer. If you're lucky enough, before you get to enter the building, you'll get to see them like pull in, or the chauffeur bringing them in.
So they kind of keep you separated.
They definitely do keep us separated.
I would guess the reason for that is if you were like, hey, can I go talk to that person? I'm a fan. And then you're a contest recipient. They can be like, oh, you became friendly with them. And then that's why you're helping them get further in the contest because you're friends. So they kind of separate you. That's the only thing I think of.
I don't know. But I do know that like they weren't opposed to, like, if you asked them for pictures, they were very friendly and they would definitely take the pictures. I unfortunately only took advantage of like one time.
Who'd you get photo with?
Escorpión Dorado. I forgot about him too. That's the guy with the mask.
The luchador mask.
Luchador mask.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's hilarious. Like, it's just his own persona. I don't know if like with the mask, like that brings a different,
I own like 3 luchador masks.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Are you a different person when you put them on?
I don't know. I have to wear them more, I think.
Because I think that brings out like a different, like a wild character or a different
I love
character.
Lucha Libre.
You should do a show with like a,
Where we all wear luchador masks. Awesome.
For you,
Yeah.
you would probably like start talking like a luchador. I don't know.
I can't talk like a luchador. That you know how quick I'll get canceled talking like a luchador?
I don't
They'll be
know.
like cultural appropriation.
I don't
like,
know.
get out of here.
I don't know what side of you that's gonna bring it out.
Yeah. Because that is the thing about being a lucha. Like you are a completely different person when you wear it. Like there's luchador wrestlers who you still have never seen their face because they just refuse.
Right.
Like in old school luchador culture, like they have matches. Like usually when a guy's going to retire and he's going to quit the business, he has a mask versus mask match. So
Right.
if you lose, he has to
to take
demask himself.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing because
Right.
now you've like abandoned that character.
Mm-hmm.
But Rey Mysterio, when he had to take his mask off,
Yeah. Yeah, that was a
He-
big deal.
he cried basically.
Mhm.
because-
Yeah.
And that mask was passed to him from his father.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was Rey Mysterio, then Rey Mysterio Jr.
Yeah.
Yep. And then and now his son wrestles, but his son started with no mask. Dominic Mysterio. Yeah.
Now
Like I
he's
said-
wearing a mask.
Nope.
Oh,
his son doesn't wear it. But even when Ray doesn't like now we all know what Ray looks like with no mask on. But even when he's behind the curtain or he does like charity stuff, he shows up in his mask. That's his thing.
Yeah.
But when he takes it off, he acts like a burn victim. He's like, nope, and he hides his face, or they give him a towel. Because even though we've seen him without his mask on,
Yeah.
he still honors that tradition.
Right.
Yeah, it's really, really cool.
Or like I like when they do the matches if they have long hair, they'll do like mask
Like-
versus like the hair.
Yeah, mask versus hair
Yeah.
matches.
Yeah.
yeah, they're that's old school. That's very old
Yeah.
school stuff. That doesn't happen very often.
No.
In Mexico, they'll do it though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Libre over there, they'll have matches.
Yeah, and a lot of masks too. A lot of characters like that character mask will get passed on from person to person to person. Like Tiger Mask is something that, and then like the Japanese culture embraced the lucha culture because there's a lot of Japanese wrestlers who don the mask and carry on the lucha libre style. It's wild. It's a cool little thing. And so people are like, I hate pro wrestling. Like there's so much more to it than just people in the ring. Like it's literally a culture to it. It's really fun.
Well, I grew up watching lucha libre since I was like maybe 5 or 6. I remember when my uncles would take me and my aunt
Yeah,
to
it was.
in Mexico City,
Mhm.
Arena Mexico, or something like that. I quite don't remember. And we would watch the wrestling matches and the luchadores there, like Ultimo Dragon. Back in the day,
he was one of my
in
favorites.
Mexico,
Yeah,
you know,
he's
Ultimo
awesome.
Dragon. He was from Japan, right?
Yeah, well, he was Mexican, but he traveled
Yeah.
the world.
And he went I saw him at 6 years old at that place. I'm like, wow, that's crazy.
There's an old photo of Ultima Dragon, and he's standing there like this, and he literally has like 37 championship belts hanging off him.
Oh wow.
Like he was like the belt collector.
Wow.
Like he went to every promotion and won a belt.
His
That's
mask was
awesome.
sick too.
Yeah, and he was like a baby blue. He looked like it was a dragon, but it was like baby blue and green, and like his mask, and it had a tail off the back.
Yeah.
He was really cool. Him and Rey Mysterio had awesome matches in WCW. All right, let's get back off wrestling. I could do that all night long. We're here to talk about your music. So back,
We're talking about whatever.
yeah.
Free flow.
So, yeah, I told you there's a lot of tangents happening, especially when these beers kick in. You're gonna have, yeah. So we are, just to give a quick plug. Tomorrow we go live, and we're drinking Warhorse Brewing right now. We're drinking the Lieutenant Dan's, and we're gonna have the owner of that brewery on tomorrow on Bangin' Beers, and I'll tell them that you guys are fans of his work tomorrow.
Which is quite swell. I don't know if I
Some
said
good
that
beer.
already, but
Yeah,
I don't usually like beer. It
No?
tastes like when I drink, I'm not a big drinker, but
like mixed drinks.
no, I'll drink beer, but sometimes they don't. They either taste like too watered down or they're too much, and then I'm just like after the second one, I'm done.
Yeah.
But this one doesn't taste bad.
Yeah,
It's strong.
yeah. That's 6%.
But it's a good-
I mean,
it's a
for
good-
you, it's strong, but for
No,
me,
I mean, like,
6%
I
is
can
like a warm up.
actually taste it.
Yeah, it has a good taste. Yeah,
Yeah, it
pale
does.
ales are really good.
Definitely does.
I just had a Yingling flight. It has taste, but this gonna have a lot more flavor. But I get excited, like you guys, like I'll have some beers. I'm like, this is great. Doesn't happen very often.
Schuylkill County, right?
No way.
Love it. I love it. You guys definitely embrace. Let's talk about that real quick. So when we all first met, it was not a culture thing, a culture shock, but like Spanish and Mexican culture in Shenandoah was perceived differently than it is, I think, today.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, because even Heidi, like my wife, she's Asian, but a lot of people mistake her for being Hispanic. They think she's
Oh,
Spanish,
right, yeah.
And then like a lot of people would talk to her in Spanish. She's like, I have no idea what
Oh
you're saying.
wow.
Yeah, she used to tell stories like where she would walk to school and people would like run back in their house, like they see like her coming down the street because she's a different complexion and thing. Now when we first started hanging out, you were probably the second Spanish family I hung out with. I was hanging out with the second black family to ever live in Monte City, so I was learning a lot about different cultures and different people and experiencing the like prejudiceness and racism at a very young age, and then growing up, realizing like, holy shit, like this is fucking like it's still like at the other day at work, where I was here like, you good? I'm like, nah, it just because everything that
Right.
was going on with the
Yeah.
world, it like bothers me still. Because people just need to talk to other people and have communication. And I felt like I broke that barrier a little bit in Shenandoah. And when people be like, oh, Shenandoah, and they would make insert racist joke here about Mexican culture or Spanish culture. And I was like, they're just trying to make it like everybody else, man. Like Shenandoah was broken up into sections. Like there was the Italian section, the Irish section, this section, the Polish section, the German section. Now it's rewind. I mean, there really isn't like the Mexican or the Spanish section, but it was like it was perceived very negatively. And I think in today's time, I think what the culture has done for the town, they turned around and said, like, I'll give a huge credit to Marcus Alvarez, who he's a part of the church and stuff. He actually works at the job too. His church turned around and made this revitalization program where we're gonna clean up the town and make it things. You guys have put in many businesses in town, contracting businesses. You put in barber shops.
I work for one company there that opened up Grizzlies.
Grizzlies, yeah, love those guys.
We work. Actually, on the way back, on the way here,
Mhm.
I accidentally called my boss's kid,
Mhm.
and I thought he was calling me. He's like, "Bro, what's going on?" He's like, "You called me, bro. That was good." And I'm like, "Oh, my bad." But yeah, I think
I coached all them in soccer.
Ricardo Chigoya.
I coached Carter. I coached his little brothers all in soccer.
What's his name? Brian.
Yep. Yeah, I coached them like when they were younger. So then again, I started
Small world.
Yeah, I started coaching in Shenandoah, and a lot of that culture was Spanish culture. And I was like, this is great. I had this little girl on my team. I don't know who she was, right? But she was the only. There was like 2 girls on this team. It was a co-ed team, and most of my team was Hispanic.
Was this recently?
No, this is years ago.
Oh, okay.
And the kid that's now on the team is one of the companies like in Grizzly.
He's the owner.
Yeah, owner or his brother's part of it or something. So this girl who was on the team, a lot of the kids in the team didn't speak English, or they knew a little bit, but they were more comfortable with Spanish. So I would be telling her on the sideline what to say to them on the field in Spanish.
So people won't know what to.
Yo, we had an awesome little advantage.
That's a team right there.
Yeah, we dominated.
You have all Hispanic people speak Spanish, so you basically telling things out in the field.
We had secret messages.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the poor white kids were just like, I don't know what's happening, coach. I'm like, just do what they're doing.
I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. But yeah, one of the best restaurants in the area is in Shenandoah. The town. Now, the people who ran that, I coached their kids as well. And they were really involved in the soccer program, and their food is fantastic. What's it, Familia? Or
La Casita de Familia.
Yeah, I'm terrible. I can't do the tongue rolls and stuff, but amazing restaurant. Fantastic food, great environment, and they have like a little I guess after hours they do like a little club there sometimes. Or they have
like a bar,
like a little bar in the back. Awesome. So it turned into like these people are coming to ruin our town and ruin our culture. Meanwhile, the town was a shithole before you guys got there.
Yeah.
And now you're embracing the town, making it your own, being proud to say that town is yours, putting business into it, cleaning up the parks and all the drug needles, and trying to get people off drugs and helping each other. It's been a complete turnaround, which is awesome. I think it's really good. Like I still think a lot of people still have that stigma of Shenandoah, but like I'm proud of it. I'm originally from Shenandoah. That's my first town, and then I moved to Monte City. But you're like the opposite. You're a Shenandoah that moved to Monte City.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I started in Shenandoah.
Now you live in Monte City.
Yeah.
So it's something that I think if people just kind of embrace the culture more and got to know each other, it breaks that barrier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. It's a really cool thing. I would walk. As I said, I think it's a really cool thing. But we got to that point where we're not going to dive super far into it, but we got really close. And then not so much with you guys, but I remember I used to be in Shenandoah all the time playing basketball and hanging out with people and made friends. And then there was an event that happened in Shenandoah that realistically, now looking at the future, at that point in time, you're like, man, this is going to be a long time to fix this relationship again. And that's when obviously the murder happened in Shenandoah, and racial divide got really, really terrible again. And people who were my friends that I would play basketball with every weekend were like, yo, we can't chill with you.
Yeah.
It was bad. It was rough.
It was like people were coming out, exposed, like showing their true colors.
Yeah.
Being that they supported or saying, oh, like I already knew, like I thought you were cool, And as soon as you said, oh, he was at the wrong place at the wrong time, then I'm like, oh,
Yeah, no one deserves.
I was wrong then.
Yeah, regardless of the situation, it ruined a lot of lives. It ruined the lives of the family and the people he was connected to, the guy that was killed, and it ruined these kids who were probably shouldn't have been provided what they were provided at a young age, and male test. Like, I'm not condoning what they did or justifying their actions, but like growing up in this area, you're told just be tough, do what you got to do, fight. Like, it was literally just like not a freak accident, but like that event that happened that weekend to that guy was something that was Schuylkill County tradition for a long time. Oh, you see a guy, you fight him, you punch him, you kick him, and when he's down, if he gets up again, you kick him. And that wasn't so much a race thing. It was just that was the culture of the area. And then when it came down to the situation, it was like race versus race. And then it got ugly. And unfortunately, someone lost their life over it. And instead of saying like, shit, we fucked up, someone lost their life, it was, we see it in today's culture. If a guy gets killed in the street, we'll say by a police officer, or he gets killed in action, or like they pull up a dirt sheet and they say, well, this is all the terrible things he's did, or this is all the bad things. And you dehumanize him as a person so you can justify his death. And that's what was going on too. And it was terrible. And it broke a lot of friendships up. And just the only reason I bring that story up is because I want to go back to how positive I think the town is now, where people embrace each other again. And it happened relatively quickly, like in less than a couple of years.
Yeah.
Like where the town was kind of like, all right, let's not fight hate with hate. And a lot of that comes to the Mexican culture, because you guys could have easily turned around and said, no, fuck that. You killed one of us. Like, and that town could have been a war zone and not accepting it at all. But I feel like that culture really said, you know what, let's move on. Let's take pride in this community. Like, you kind of like, listen, like the biggest complaint the people had was, this is our town. We're proud of it. We want you to be proud of it as well. And you're like, shit, we're proud of it. We'll put business in. We'll put things in. We'll take pride. We'll go clean your parks that you guys haven't taken care of in 15 years. And I think it's really turned the culture around. And I'm proud to say, like, it's one of those good moments in Schuylkill County.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Is there anything on the, like, what we just talked about that you have a different perspective on with that stuff?
No, not at all. I was actually gonna say that, like, instead of, you're right, it could have been a completely different route. However, I feel that people had already seen and were already hurting by what was going on, that I don't think they wanted revenge. I think they wanted to be like, hey, let's end this and let's be better.
Yeah.
And I think that's exactly like what you were saying. Instead of, instead of it deteriorating, business was created, and it is a positive change. Flora's restaurant, they're very nice people. There's also like barber shops now, Hispanic barber shops that you could go to, before it was only one business, and it's different styles. It definitely makes, it better being based off diversity alone. And I think that's what the whole like world needs. Because there's different things than, a lot of people don't get out of like Schuylkill County.
Yeah.
And so now they're, opening their minds little by little, like even just because other people are coming in.
Yeah. And a thing that kind of was like a backlash thing that you sometimes hear in media is like, well, if they're so proud of their flag, why don't they go back there or that?
Right.
But in the meantime, you have like the Italian festivals and the Polish festivals and the German festivals, and they rock their flags, and it's okay.
The
Irish flags. But if someone rocks their Mexican flag, it's like, well, you should rock the American. Like, no, you should be proud of your heritage and your culture. So in your music video, where once again, lyric wise, I don't know the message, but
La Frontera.
I was watching the video and the imagery of it. Like, you get out of the car and everyone's there, and then you got the flag on your back. Like, I was like, that's like, I love when people embrace their culture, or where they came from, or where they're like, I'm Irish Italian. I'm very proud to be Irish Italian. Like, a lot of what our ancestors did, obviously there's negative to everything, but you pull out the positive and you say, this is what they did that was good. You know what I mean? So I don't, and then because of that, the Downtown Historical Society of Shenandoah then started doing the Cultural Day, where everyone's culture is embraced, and
The
Heritage Day. And that may be a member of my family who helps run that, Mary Lescavage.
No way, that's your family?
That's family to me, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so...
You have to talk to her.
Yeah, what's that?
Yeah, you always have to talk to her.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
And she was like...
Very nice lady.
And once again, forefront of saying, hey, instead of pushing that culture away, let's bring it in. Let's have a Heritage Day, and we'll have a parade where everyone's culture is accepted.
Actually, that there was a day there for Heritage Day that she actually recorded one of her music videos
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
at that time.
Mhm.
You know, so people were like very surprised that at least what she's doing with her music, she's actually letting people know about our town,
Mhm.
our area, not only around here, but nationwide.
Yeah.
Because people see her videos from all over, bro. Like we have friends in Chile, you know, have friends in everywhere,
Yeah.
and they see the town right now with Monterey City when she was on a TV show. People are
But they're,
proud of that.
What the hell is Monty City? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
But people,
What is a Manoy?
What is a Monty City?
but the
What's a
thing is,
Makanoi?
but the thing is, like people, like I was at the Citizens yesterday,
Yeah.
you know, in Monterey City, and they're happy. I'm like, wow, that's awesome that your sister on TV, and look, the sign,
Mhm.
welcome to,
Mhm.
you know. So people that actually respect, you know, are willing to say, that's awesome that this town is known over there now
Mm-hmm.
and everywhere, you know.
You went on TV to a different culture, to a different people, a different language, and said, "I am from this town."
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's a way to like be proud of where you're from, but also like you came from somewhere, then came here, and then said, "You know what? Like, I'm gonna make fun of some people here real quick. Like New York, like Craig, you're watching. I know you're seeing you in the chat. Craig's like born and raised New York. I'm like, well, you got here when you were like 8 and you were raised in Monterey City. Stop it. You're from Monterey. Claim us. You know what I mean? But no, and that's kind of what you did. You went to a different area,
Right.
to a different culture, and said, "I'm from Pennsylvania." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was awesome, and I like it excites me, and that's kind of why I started this whole podcast thing. Like some of these interviews or conversations I have, they're good for worldwide because I think someone from a different part of the world can hear this and see two people of different backgrounds and cultures and beliefs come together and have a conversation. And the reason I brought that up is because there was a point in time where I was kind of nervous coming to your house or dropping people off at your house
No
or going
way.
no, because of that happened. You know what I mean? Because it was that like that bad blood. Like I didn't know. I was afraid to go there because I just went to a basketball court and was no longer accepted a day removed from the situation. And then I'm dropping you off in your neighborhood and I'm like, am I going to be okay here? Because like not everyone knows that I have friends here and I'm accepted. Like, because anyone can perceive anything differently. Like it was a really high tension situation. So it's really, really cool now to see that obviously we had a loss and people's lives have been changed, but the positive side of that is what it came out to. You know what I mean? Like there's Heritage Days and there's this and there's that and I it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And I've learned more about other people's culture and food and all that other stuff and like working at the job. I learned so much about Dominican culture and Puerto Rican culture and Mexican culture and that should be more embraced. We should learn about more of each other. You know,
Definitely.
it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. Well, let's get back to your TV show. We took a side. This I'm telling you, there's no structure here. We just go everywhere. He's trying to say his Joshua was he wasn't. Stop it. He's not claiming it. Well, we know Craig. We know Greg. Craig, you're fucking. The kid went to elementary school, middle school, Monterey City, and graduated there. So I don't want to hear it. Anyway,
That's
so-
exactly why I say that, because I came here when I was 5.
Yeah.
I went straight to Shenandoah, and then I've been I've stayed in PA, whether it was Monterey City or Mount Carmel, So I was like, I am currently in Monterey City. However, I was born in Mexico City.
Mm-hmm. What was that like? What was that change like growing up, like leaving there and coming to?
I mean, I
Dawson's
imagine
Creek,
like
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I imagine like any kid. First of all, like first and foremost, you're moving to a whole different place.
Mhm.
So whether it's a different, only it's not a different. It's a whole different country. Like it's not from here to Mount Carmel.
Yeah.
So things are different. Like obviously there was like a bit of a culture shock. Only that I felt like in Mexico people are more free. Here it's like I don't know. And then it's
And a lot of our like we perceive we're free, right? So we say America, land of the free, home of the brave.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of the restrictions that are on us are put on us because we choose to be restricted. And a lot of that comes down to, well, you're different than me, so I can't speak to you or go to your business or talk to you.
Right.
So I'm trying to put pieces together. Is that kind of what you mean by
Yeah,
that?
that's exactly what I mean. Like out there, there's no one style. There's all different types. There's all different groups. There's a lot of people. Now, I'm coming from one of the largest cities in the world.
Yeah.
There's good and bad things. It's overpopulated. There's not a lot of jobs. So people get really creative.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's multiple, like different types of outsize stands usually.
Food trucks.
Like people
Dude, everyone hates Mexican culture till they eat one of those food trucks, and then they're like, "Yo, we need to go get some more of those empanadas." And like, everyone hates Mexican culture until they go to Cancun for the weekend, and they're like, "I'm never coming back home." You know what I mean?
The food. I was just talking about that the other day. The food is so good, like especially the ones from the street. There's like farmer markets, but there's everything. Like you find everything, and those foods, like they don't compare to the food out here.
Yeah. Well, even the Amish country, like people kind of shit on the Amish and say they're weird or they're different, but they're the first ones to go buy their food or their baked goods or stuff like that. They make the best. It's like if food is your entry point, then accept their culture a little more. Don't just shit on people. Like you're like, oh, I don't like that, or I don't like, because a lot of it is we're predetermined to think that everyone that comes from a certain area are all negative and bad people, and that's not the case.
Yeah.
That's not the case at all.
Like the food in the hometown market,
That's a cultural. Everyone's there. The Bloomsburg Fair. Bloomsburg Fair. We didn't have it this year, but like a lot of people were like boycott the Bloomsburg Fair because the guy was selling Confederate flag stuff there, and I was like, "You're gonna boycott the Bloomsburg Fair?" They're like, "Yeah, they're racist. They made fun of the lieutenant governor or whatever, the girl who the lady who is transgender," and they're like, I'm like, "So you're gonna boycott the Bloomsburg Fair? Do you realize how many small businesses like the one in Shenandoah set up a food truck and go to the Bloomsburg Fair and get their more business now in Shenandoah as a Mexican restaurant because people try their food and go, this is unbelievable." They're from Shenandoah. The first time I ever had their food was at the Bloomsburg Fair, and I've known them. I'm a very picky eater. They invited us so many times, like coaching, and I was like, I'm good, because I was like, I don't want to go there and not like it. So I tried the Bloomsburg Fair because I was able to get it and kind of like scurry away. And then we ate it, and I was like, Heidi, we got to go back. Like, we got to go to. And then I surprised her. I was like, let's go get something to eat. She goes, all right. She goes, why are you turning to Shenandoah? She goes, we're not going to Burger King, are we? And I'm like, no. She goes, I'm sick of Italian food. Like, she's been begging me to go there. And we pull in and go in, and she was like doing little food happy dances. It was, it's crazy. But
that's cute. That was cute.
it's good stuff. But we'll spin back to the contest again. Yes. So the contest was, how far into it did you, like, how many, like, how was it established, like America's Got Talent, where there's rounds and different stuff like that?
So I made it to the semifinals. So I went out there 3 times. And the semifinals, basically, that was going to be the last time I was there, regardless. Whether I stayed or not, if I stayed, it would have been extended like 2 more days. But yeah, and like I said, I did an English track. They were going crazy over the Spanish track, which is the video we were just talking about.
Yeah. And you ended the track in English. So you did the whole thing in Spanish and then translated to English at the very end.
Yeah, because that song, it's called The Border. And I mean like the border between the United States and Mexico. And being that I said, there's always like stereotypes that Mexicans are really good workers, and there is a lot of really good workers. And there is also stereotypes that, like a lot of times Mexicans will rather work in the farms than the American people. Right. And so myself, like being an immigrant, I came here illegally and I actually worked at the farms because, there's like, where else am I going to go? I have no social security.
Yeah, it's not that you choose to work at the farms, is you're kind of pigeonholed too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I grew up with the hard work ethic.
Yeah.
And so when I was saying like, one of my lyrics is, when the gringos don't want to do the work, who do you think that they're calling?
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. There's a story where in Texas, I believe it was Texas or Arizona, they were taking prisoners. Well, they went to a field where, agriculture was being done, and it was mostly done by illegal immigrants that were allowed to be there because they were smuggled in by Americans to do their field work. And then when they got political, they kicked them all out and sent them all back.
Mm-hmm.
Then they took prisoners then they said, listen, these prisoners can come in and work these fields, and the longer they work in the fields to get the work done, they can get time off their sentence, right? So if you're there for 6 years, if you work in these fields, you can do it almost in half. You can be in prison less time. Just got to put that work in. They were there a month, and the prisoner said, we're never going back. We will rather stay in prison longer. And then all of a sudden, people from Mexico were shipped back across the border to work at these fields.
It's not easy.
No.
It's not easy at all. Like, I'm telling you, after, fortunately now, the situation changed. I'm allowed to work legally. I'm allowed here legally.
So what was that process like?
What do you mean? Like, becoming?
So I want to kind of maybe give more people insight of that thing. So you said you were here illegally, right? And obviously you're kind of hidden a little bit. You can't do certain things. You can't apply for certain things because of that, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Now, what was the process of becoming an American citizen, and how long did it take you? Now, you said you were here since you're 5.
Right.
How long did that process take, and when did you finally get that opportunity to become American citizen?
Well, in 2000, I believe it was 2013, President Obama did the Deferred Act for the childhood arrival.
Mm-hmm.
And so that I was I was a child when I was brought here, obviously I didn't wake up and said, I'm going to walk myself, across the border.
Mm-hmm.
That's for that program is for the kids, like me that came here, that got brought here. And so therefore now, I was able to be in a different job, like now I could be in factories or actually in-house than
Mm-hmm.
outside, where the sun is burning you.
Or you're
and
cold.
You're getting paid minimum wage.
Yeah.
You're cold. Yeah. And
So just another thing real quick. I just want to, so you were, and I do remember at one point in time we were hanging out. I remember we made a joke, like I was working in factories
Mm-hmm.
and I was driving my shitty Dodge Neon, and somebody in our friend circle was working illegally, but they drove this really nice car, and I was like, yeah, it's because they didn't pay taxes. So realistically, you guys were fighting for a green card and were willing to pay the taxes, but just the process of getting it was too hard or too long, or was kind of like it was not an easy process. Like, you're not coming here to get the easier life. You're actually coming here for a harder life, but you want the opportunity to have the American dream.
right.
And it just, the process of becoming an American citizen is just so drawn out and so hard to do. Like, you're not opposed to paying taxes. You actually wanted to go to a job where you can pay taxes and have health benefits and get those things.
Exactly. And one of the things is that it doesn't necessarily mean that just because you are illegal that you're not paying taxes. It's just farm work itself. You don't pay taxes. Like,
Yeah.
even American citizens with a social security number are not going to pay taxes. They're going to get paid cash.
Yeah. And if you go and break your leg in that thing, you're like, at least the guy with the social security card can go to the hospital and get care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
At least he has the option to, get insurance.
yeah.
And the thing is that back in the day, we're talking like how old? I mean, I'm 31 now, that I was 5. So you can imagine when I came here. So things changed a little bit, Back then, you didn't really need anything but a passport to be able to travel. But now, you can't do that. But back then, things were definitely easier. And there were still jobs out there that were blind to the fact that people didn't have socials.
Mm-hmm.
So they would just accept you, didn't really run the background check all the way. And being that you were working and you got paid with a check, you were getting taxes taken out. So that was always a huge misconception that if you're illegal, you don't pay taxes.
Yeah.
No, you pay taxes. It's
You just don't reap the benefits of them.
exactly, you don't reap the benefits.
Yeah, I know. I just talking school county. I'm not going to say businesses names, but I do remember being just like in our friend circle and talking and having that inside information that I wasn't aware of. Like there was factories that would accept people who knew they weren't illegal, like they were illegal, and they would kind of like go against the system too to give you guys opportunities for jobs. But then on the same token is when if the company was going through something, they would be the first ones to call INS, and then you would like they would be also set you up as well. You know what I mean?
Exactly. We were like the, second class, like an agency.
Yeah.
But
I'm
they
Irish,
did
so I'm
accept-
relating a lot to what you've went at one point in time went through.
Yeah. They did accept people knowing their, immigrant status based off their work ethic.
Mhm.
Because they know, like, we knew ourselves, we have to work twice as hard because we, have to
They can
want
kick
to
you at
get
any time.
exactly. We want for the boss to be like, okay, we want them here
Yeah.
because they work good. So you're over here, busting your ass twice as hard and being grateful because maybe in your country, you don't have that opportunity. That's why you're leaving, because over there it's overpopulated, so there's not a lot of jobs.
Yeah. And some of the and at the time probably in that country it was very corrupt and cartel was taking over a lot and a lot of people were not able to move ahead or do anything. Like I remember seeing photos of people living across the border where it's actually in the documentary when everything went crazy in Shenandoah over with the murder. They went and showed where this person came from that was murdered, and he had to sleep in a certain corner of the room. Like his family has to sleep in one corner because the other corner has no roof. So if it rained, they got wet, so they had to move to the other side of the house. Like, and they couldn't afford to fix. Like, if I'm someone who's raising kids and I'm like, I don't know where my next meal's coming. I don't know if I'm going to have a job the next day. My house is literally falling apart, but I can't afford to do that. Like, do I risk like going across a border and making a better life for me and my kids? I mean, I think anyone's going to turn around and say, yeah. Like, if America's shit's ever hit the fan and Canada's the place to be, you better believe motherfuckers are going to try to go for the better life. That's just humans. Like, that's not race at all. That's humans.
Yeah.
Like, especially if you have kids or family, you're going to fight to make them have a better opportunity. But if we're going to wave that flag that we're the great land of opportunity and we want people to see us as the beacon and see us as the protectors, or we go to and protect people from war or go fight wars for them and help other people, why can't we help our neighbors with the same thing? You know what I mean? And it's always something, and I know other people will make it political and say, all that other stuff, but maybe it's just the bleeding heart in me that says, like, why can't we all have that,
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I grew up Italian Irish, man. I did the history on us, and we went through that shit too. It's like, and it's just like every single time it seems like something new comes. It's the quote I love is America the brave still fears what they don't know, and it seems like every time something new is introduced, it's just like it's fear and hate mongering, and then it stirs people up to keep the lower class fighting, but the higher class stay rich and all that nonsense. It's just I don't know. Like growing up, I was aware of your situation. I didn't express it to you or tell you that I knew, but I just remember being like, man, it's gotta it made me more open to like political standpoints and what people of other, like being white and realizing my privilege and realizing what I'm going through and how, even though if I'm saying my day sucked, somebody else is fucking way worse than me and you don't even know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was very eye opening. And this is like the first time I even expressing this to you, you know what I mean? It was tough, you know. I mean, like when people say like, "Oh, it's a myth or privilege and stuff," like, no, it's definitely not. Like people are here fucking killing themselves for the opportunity just to be welcomed or accepted.
Right.
Yeah, but there a lot of people's mindsets are that people are just happy not doing any of that. That's not the case at all. Like they want the same thing you do. They're willing to contribute to society. They're willing to come in here and do stuff. Like once that Obama Act passed, a town like Shenandoah was a lot of these kids who are now your age and younger, who are able to become citizens, are now putting business into small town America. It's huge, and not just business. They're providing services for people. They're helping fixing houses up. They're cutting people's hair, which people didn't think was that it's a joke job, but that pandemic, everyone was dying to get a haircut, right?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like they're putting restaurants in town. It's just it's a lot. So and you said your song See how I'm segueing? That's not, and your song was pretty much speaking on that for the most part.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's why I said also, one of the things that I didn't mention was that in Mexico, we get like you get paid less because the peso is
Less than
worth
a dollar.
less than
Yeah.
a dollar.
Mhm.
It's like, what is it at now? 19?
Well, I don't know. I think it's 19. But what I heard, like we were talking with my friends yesterday, he said, in Mexico you get paid a week about, was it like $90 or $60 a week?
American
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
peso?
No, that's
Peso.
American.
Like it equals out
equals-
to
It
90.
equals out to 90
To
American.
$90.
Yeah.
Yeah, it equals out to $90 American, and that's a week of
Yeah.
work. Imagine that, and
Yeah.
then working 12-hour shifts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have to see a way to survive with $90 in a week.
Yeah.
So, and it's expensive over there if you want to buy meat.
Yeah.
You know, so you
And-
either buy clothes or you buy food. Period.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
And this that was something that was very eye opening when I went to visit Dominican Republic, and then you see like the exchange rate from their current. I don't think it's the peso. It's
I don't know.
yeah, but in that like I think it was for every dollar to them was $47 to us American. $47.
Yeah, it's
It's
higher
big.
over there.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
higher over there. Yeah.
Yeah, so I remember like we were leaving the resort. Every time I went to a resort and a bartender gave me a drink, I would slide him $10. Now he's seen that
$10
to me
American dollars.
To me, $10. I would give an American bartender $10.
Yeah.
But because knowing and growing up in the situations that I've heard and knowing that these people struggle, I slid him $10. To me, that's $10. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like I've literally paid $700 a person for me and my wife to come to your country, and I got flown here. You've transported me from the airport to your resort. You are feeding me all I can eat until I die. You're letting me drink all I can drink until I die. Then you're going to drive me back and then let me go back home for a $700 weekend
For both of you?
for each
Oh,
person.
okay.
Now,
That's still great.
that's still super cheap.
Yeah.
yeah.
Now, when I get there, normally if you fly to New York, you can spend $700 a night. The first night in New York, if you're not like your hotel room for one night in hotel, and then your meal, and then like in America, that could be a day in a major city. So going to another country and being treated like a king for that same price point, it was like, man, like you can tell they really want you here so they can make money. So when I slid the bartender, he's like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "I'm very sure." He's like, "You realize how much you're giving me?" I said, "I'm very aware." Like, because it can help that person. And then when we left, I had I think $20 left in my wallet, and I looked at Hadia, and we seen like a homeless dude. Like he was homeless outside of the airport, and I handed him a $20 American, and he looked at it, and he looked at me, and he didn't say, well, he just ran. He ran away because it was like he didn't want anyone else to see what he had. And that's super sad to me. But like as an American, we go to those resorts and have a blast, but you don't see everything outside the resort is really hardworking people, like cutting a cantaloupe off a tree, chopping it, pouring rum into it, and then trying to sell it for $3 just to the $3 American, so they can then make the peso, and they're not rich people. They're living in a hut. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's just like seeing things from outside the box, and it's very easy to be born and raised in small town Schuylkill County or small town this and be like, well, we work. You're goddamn right, you work hard. We're not saying that what you're going through as a white American or a white person in Schuylkill County that you haven't busted your fucking ass, because you have. But there's other people who are busting their ass and getting a lot less.
Mm-hmm.
And they're doing the same amount of work, if not more than you. And they're still trying to raise their kids. Like, you would do anything for your kid, right? Sure. But these people are too. You know what I mean? Like, now I'm not saying that open everything up and give everybody opportunities, but if we're all about going over and fighting a war for oil, and your neighbors are down, like our neighbors from down south or the Mexican culture can help us, we should be looking into more of that. For me, I'm not I'm not into politics. I can't tell you everything. I'm not politically savvy, but I just want humans to have an opportunity. You know what I mean? And that's just what it comes down to. I can care less about borders or this or that. Like, I think we should all have an opportunity to live life, regardless of who you are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So one of the things also is that you're not, if you go through the program or you get accepted, you are not becoming a citizen yet. You know, hopefully now with, President Biden, he'll give us a pathway to citizenship. But no.
So are you
right
currently
now,
on like what status are you currently in? Like
work permit?
okay, so you have a work permit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think there was a time during the last administration where they canceled all those work visas and they were shipping people away. That one rapper got hit with it. There was a rapper, he was like Canadian or something like that. And he was
21 Savage.
Maybe he was here on a work, or he was from England or something, and he was here on a work visa, and they canceled all work visas because they were doing this mass get everyone who doesn't belong in our country out type deal, or something like that. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not into politics, but they don't know the ramifications of that. Like, not everyone, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, they shut down the applications.
yeah,
But now they opened them back up now.
yeah.
I think they're gonna be open until sometime in February. So
I seen a video too where they took the test that people have to take to become an American citizen.
It's hard, bro.
Yeah, and they took that test and gave it to Americans, and they failed. About 80% of them failed. And you're expecting someone from another country to come and learn that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
sure, you should learn American history, but like I didn't learn about the Dominican Civil War until like a few months ago at work. I had a whole conversation with somebody about like the Dominican Civil War, and like because I just left and came back from Gettysburg and learned about our Civil War more in depth and seeing it firsthand, and then hearing like Dominican Civil War. I was like, man, like holy shit, like that's crazy. Like that happened in another country. Like that's the stuff that fascinates me. But we don't know a lot of world. Like we know some world history. We know the world history that we were involved in. You know what I mean? But we don't know other countries' cultures and stuff. And then, yeah, I know it's strange. It's very strange to me.
yeah, that's another thing too. When you're younger, you can pick it up. Like I picked it up just by watching TV. You know, going to school.
Mm-hmm.
We used to always speak Spanish first. You know, in our household is house speaking. I mean,
Yeah.
Spanish speaking. But so they already knew that you're going to school. You're bound to pick it up there.
Yeah.
But some people come over here when they're older.
Now, do your parents know English?
Yeah, they do.
When I met them, they didn't.
My mom,
Or your dad at least didn't.
my dad did.
He did?
Yeah,
The whole time I could have talked to him?
yeah.
That bastard.
My mom, she just speaks it. She has a heavy accent, you know.
Yeah.
She
And-
but
and a
she
lot of
makes her
people-
way, you know.
A lot of people with accents get self-conscious and they don't want to speak English because they get picked on for their accent.
Yeah,
It's like,
she's
no.
the opposite. She's the complete opposite.
Yeah.
Like
She don't care.
she
Yeah.
don't care. Like she'll be going to Burger King and instead of saying value fries, she'll be like, "Can I get the baby fries?" Like, you know. Yeah, she don't care. But
I trained a girl at the job the first time I was there because I was there and then left and came back. And one of the things I was very, very proud of the company we work for, and I don't want to say the names, I don't know their things, but it's not because I'm not proud to work there, because I truly am, is the fact that they let people come in there and work knowing no English. I don't know. I think that's, once again, that's breaking down a barrier to give people an opportunity.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And like, and a cool thing too is speaking on, like when I first used to go up there and work, you would hear a lot of people complain about that fact, like, oh, they're allowed to work here with no English and they're getting more opportunities than us. And I was like, we already had a head start in the race. They're trying to catch up in the race. If there's one barrier that we have to like kind of suffer from a little bit so they can catch up to us equally, I'm cool with that. And the same thing that happened in Shenandoah, like when everyone was like, oh, Hazelton's a dump. I'm like, give that time. Hazelton's going to be a dope place to be soon because I've seen it happen in Shenandoah. You know what I mean? Like Hazelton has the like it's a multicultural place.
Hilton has a lot.
Yeah. It's like you can go to and experience different culture. Like you can go to an Italian restaurant, a Dominican restaurant, a
Mexican restaurant.
Mexican restaurant, Puerto Rican restaurant. Like it's all there. Like that's awesome to me.
Awesome. Mm-hmm.
Like we're so like we should eat Chinese tonight, but well, I don't want the Mexicans in School County. It's like why? Why can't they be here?
Yeah.
You're okay having the Mexican restaurant in town, but as long as they stay at their Mexican restaurant and they don't come out and they don't like that's bullshit. Stop it.
Yeah.
Fucking stop it. You'll eat their food all day long, but they can't shop at your grocery store without you making fun of them because they're different. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, I hate people sometimes.
I'm definitely gonna go either for Chinese or Mexican food after this.
Yeah. The Chinese
Yeah.
place in Monte City is amazing. I haven't had it in so long, but we used to always walk uptown and get that every day. It's so good. So fucking good.
I like Shenandoah's.
Shenandoah's Chinese.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one now, right? There used to be two. There used to be one next to the bank.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
yeah. They
That
closed
was a
that
long
down.
time ago. Yeah.
Oh,
And then it caught on fire.
Yeah.
So the building's not even there anymore. The whole section caught on fire.
I really don't.
Are you still in Shenandoah?
Remember.
No, well, I live in Monterey City too.
Oh, you're both in Monte City?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Monte City, oh my God, there's so much good food. I know Craig, if he's still listening, he's like, I need to come back to the area because I'm craving a dogi from Pascoli's. The dogies.
I don't know.
So dogi it looks like a pizza, but it's like a sub. So it's like the bread, but it's like eating a hoagie or a sub, wherever you're from. But it's made in a pizza form. They're really good. Pascoli's right across from Carini's. Monte City.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they're really good.
I'm going to have to check into that.
I love the food in Monte City.
I always go out and eat a lot.
Yeah.
Where's your go-to spot in town?
I go everywhere, man. I'll go to the Red Zone.
Red Zone?
I'll go to
McNiff's. Oh my! McNiff's food is amazing.
good. I
So
go
the lady who cooks McNiff's food used to cook for Pick a Pack, what used to be in Monte City.
Oh, I used to like Pick a Pack.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah. Pick a Pack used to be owned by Marion Lescavage, the lady who's involved with the Chenedo Culture Project.
Oh, wow.
She used to own Pick a Pack.
Wow.
You sold it, right?
Yep. And she got rid of they got rid of Pick a Pack, and then they started focusing more on being involved in revitalizing Chenedo. Yeah.
Wow. Didn't know that.
And then the lady who cooked there went to McNiff's, so all the good food she made at Pick a Pack is now at McNiff's.
Didn't know that. Do they sell cheesesteaks there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I used to get cheesesteaks in Pick a Pack.
Yeah.
So if that's the same lady, I'm going to be getting some there.
Their burgers at McNiff's. Oh my! I love the McNiff's. McNiff's is probably was the first bar that let me do a podcast inside of it.
Oh, wow.
I've done like 2 or 3 of them
That's
in there.
nice.
Yeah, they're good people there.
Cool.
I go there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I love Monte. I go back every now and then. Like the Citizens Bar.
Nice.
Yeah, the
They
Citizens
made
Bar.
it bigger.
Yeah, that bar was never always a public bar. That was like a members only
Yeah,
thing, and now
they
it's
made it
public.
yeah.
Yeah, that whole basement. I used to tell people like, "Dude, this basement's so cool," and everyone's like, "We can't be there." And now it's open to the public, and then like the beer garden outside.
Oh yeah, they had that.
Yeah.
Yesterday, the guy.
Someone's listening from like California.
Bro.
Like, what are you just talking about? Like, come to Monte City, dude. We'll put you up. Come hang out with us.
we know some people, right?
Yeah, you can come hang out with us. Come to School County. That's this whole podcast is bring more people to School County so we can hang out and have a good time. We could once Corona's over, we can
County.
we can
The
party.
Skook.
The Skook bot. We were talking to a guy at work about. He's like, I want to move to that area. I'm like, it's gonna be tough at first, but just give to people time.
People don't get used to it, you know.
Yeah.
Until you get used to it and everything.
You'll move in. He was a black guy, and he came. He's like, how would I like it in School County? I said, at first, probably not at all. I said, but give it time; it'll grow on you. Yeah. You have to travel out to experience some fun stuff.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
But I feel like everywhere now, like, you know, nothing is close. Like the mall, to go to the mall, you need to drive out.
Because we don't
To go
have
to
a mall
Walmart,
anymore.
you have to drive out. Right, we don't have a mall.
See, Frackville, this may sound so stupid, but living in Monte City, you'd be like, I have to go to fucking Walmart. Shit, I have to go to hometown or St.
Yeah.
Clair. Now
Right.
you live in Frackville, it's like, dude, Walmart's a stone throw away for us. Like, because you're already cut out 20 minutes out of your time because we live in Frackville now.
Yeah.
Frackville's really, that's a good spot for me. I know, I like it.
Yeah.
It's quiet. Yeah, I dig Frackville. I mean, I miss Monte City, but I like Frackville a lot.
Is there any good food out here?
Yeah. Anthony's is good. We have 2 Anthony's. They're both
yeah,
good.
Anthony's.
There's only one place in town I'm not a big fan of.
Where?
I don't want to say it on the podcast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No way. Why? You don't like the food?
No, because I don't want to hurt a business. Like,
No, I mean,
Yeah, I
no
just-
way. Like, why won't you like their? I mean, why don't you like their
I seen
food?
some of the stuff the owner did, and like I thought the way he presented himself, I wasn't cool with, and I don't think their food is good enough to justify his terrible actions. So I just don't eat there. I love Anthony's. Anthony's is the same people who own the place in Chenedo. DiMaggio's. Yeah. So their food, DiMaggio's, is amazing, and now we have that in Frackville. And more places from Chenedo are delivering, so I get Francesco's every now and then.
Oh.
And then the place that used to be in the Frackville Mall, that is now
Suglia's.
Suglia's is up by in Chenedo, so they deliver. That's actually a box of Suglia's right there that we ate yesterday.
No way.
Yeah, we try to. We eat we're like we should stop eating out, but then we also like supporting small business. It's tough. That's why I'm El Gordo, right?
No,
So-
I love food too.
So yeah, I'm sorry, we're bouncing around a lot. For people who are here for a constructive story, you're probably not going to get it, but that's the beauty of a podcast. So you made it to the semifinals. So I seen in the second video when you came out in your raver girl outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they showed like a cowboy guy putting a rose on the TV. I guess he got booted or something.
Yeah.
So now the connection you don't have with the because I think when a lot of people see the TV magic, they think that like you guys are like they're like a boot camp and you see each other all the time. Do you make relationships with the other people in the show?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I met a lot of cool people, especially like the contestants.
Mhm.
You know, you already share the passion for music. or whatever they do. And it's a nice experience. There is people that, they kind of stick to themselves, or, they're antisocial. But there was some really nice people that, they're like, oh, we should collaborate after this, or, and they're from Texas. Like, they're from all different parts of the U.S. So that was really cool. We got to hang out, we were there. It's like, yo, let's do something, It was really nice. The producers, I love the producers. Like, so nice. And even the judges, the celebrities, like they were there. Like, you wanted to go interact with them before the COVID. Like, we were getting hugs and pictures and everything, like all close up. Afterwards, the COVID thing happened, so we had to do the 6 distance. But they were still available, like for videos or anything. Yeah.
Like a little hair fire size stuff.
So, and it was cool. It was the dopest experience.
Nice. Now you made it to the semifinals. So semifinals was like 4 people. How many people were left?
I don't remember how many people were left, to be honest.
What was the final thing they said to you that wasn't able to go onto the comp? Like, what was your feedback that they said that the reason you didn't move on?
Well, it was based on voting, on votes.
Okay, so it came down to people's votes.
Yeah, it came down to that.
How much do you buy into that?
Well,
I don't buy it.
At first, exactly. Like, at first, it was like everybody was shocked because I was very unique. Like, I had, I was wearing something completely different. A lot of the genres were Mexican regional music, and
so like bachata and stuff like that.
Mariachi, banda, corrido. Like,
what is country music in Mexican culture? Like,
it would be like corrido.
Okay.
Real norteño.
Norteño.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's a big
It's
thing
like
too.
country, yeah.
Yeah, it's like country music where it's like a dude and guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like polka.
Like a polka.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. There's a lot of similarities.
Were you the only rapper?
I was one. No, they had a few rappers, but I was the only rapper that advanced, I think, to the female rapper that advanced to the semifinals.
How many people were in the contest total? Do you know?
No.
Like, you don't know, like 10,000 people, and it came down to you 4.
So many. I don't know, because
There
they
was a
did
lot.
contests all over the states.
Wow.
They did, and all the big cities. They did more than one in California alone.
So
More
this
than one
was
in Texas.
So when I say like America's Got Talent, it was America's Got Talent, but it focused on Spanish culture.
Exactly. It was just like as if it was America's Got Talent in Spanish. You know how they have The Voice
Yes.
and then La Voz?
It's the
Yeah,
same.
it's similar.
Well, the thing is like if you went on The Voice and you spoke only Spanish, they would probably kick you out first round because it's not what's the mainstream music scene. So then a show like this gives other people an opportunity to be seen.
Right. And it's just like you said, like if you're not doing, because the hard rock there is the Mexican regional music. And I'm coming in doing hip hop,
Yeah.
but the first song when I came on, I think they appreciated that my song had to do with who I was. I spoke about I came here, the United States, and how I was like always wanted to come and take over, like crossover in the music, being Mexican. And so they liked that. And then I followed up that topic, that subject. And then when I moved on to the next round, that's when I did the English. And it was kind of more of, you saw the more confident side now, things are different. And I think they wanted me to keep it how I was doing it in Spanish, and with the whole, like, more brought out my culture. But I just wanted to show, the versatile that I had with music. And
Well, here's my quick question. So obviously the name of the show is what?
tengo talento, mucho talento. I have talent, a lot of talent.
Yes. So to rap that in English, then to rap that same lyric on the same beat in Spanish, you have to switch up the way you enunciate or you would say it, because how it sounds in Spanish and how it sounds in English is the same message, but it doesn't fit to the same beat sometimes.
Right. Now that song, you're talking about La Frontera, where I cross over to
Yeah.
from English to Spanish. The reason why I did that is because I was telling the story, and there's a line where I say, when I was 9, I already had 2 years working. And then I said, oh, I got ahead of myself. I forgot to tell you how when I was 5 is when I crossed the border. And then I said, I learned to speak English, and now I speak it better than the white girls.
Yeah.
You know, and that's when I switched off to English to basically follow up what I had just said. And I was like, yes, I said I speak it better. Oh, that was cold. Go get your sweater. If
Yeah.
a group of us goes out in the rain, there's no telling whose back's wetter. No,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that we're better.
Ah,
You know, but when
who's
it comes
back?
to jobs, quit the bitch and treat them like a woman and go get her. You know?
I love it. I love it. Yeah, because I mean, you guys kind of like it was weird. Like it's like the way I describe it, like I always relate the movie to The Breakfast Club, where it's like it was
The
it was
detention.
the detention,
Why?
because that is so much like society, where the jocks stay to the jocks and the people stay to
Yeah.
the people. But now put that into like that movie was all white people, right? So now relate that to like Shenandoah High School, where you have your jocks with your jocks, but
Yeah.
not all the jocks are white that hang out with the Spanish. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So they're even now you have another form of segregation. So I remember being the white dude, then hanging out with who I hung out, like, you know, Tony, and then meeting you, and then meeting your Spanish friends, and I was like, this is like a whole nother thing I never even thought existed. And we're
Right.
in a small fucking town of less than 1,000 people. You know what I mean? Like, it's so crazy how we put barriers and blockades in front of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was strange. It's so different. Like I couldn't imagine. Like it still blows my mind that like there's still people in this area that I don't know anything. Like I don't know their story, and that's why we're here. You know what I mean? Like we definitely have to have you back on because I feel like there's so much more we can dive into and talk
I
about. Like
know.
there's so much more of your past I want to know.
Like when I was 15, you know how we have the whole quinceañera thing,
Mm-hmm.
being that we're Mexican. Well, I had my quinceañera and I was rapping back then.
Yeah.
Quinceañeras when, you know, instead of your sweet 16, it's the 15. And I remember I had already like I was in a rap group already. And
What was the name of that rap group?
Interface Records.
Interface Records. I forgot the name. Interface Records.
Interface Records.
That was so much fun.
Yeah.
He used to work at the job. Timmy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he
Arson
used to work
Montana.
there. I would never call him Arson. He hated
Arson?
it. Yeah, I'd never
Yeah?
say it. I was like, "What's up, Tim?" He's like, "I'm Arson." I'm like, "Fuck you, you're
Oh, he hated that
Yeah.
username.
But the only reason I did that is because we used to always play basketball against each other too. And I was always, because I was the only white dude, I was the one everyone had to start the rivalry with because Tony and Jay were so fucking good at basketball, and then I was decent, but like they thought I was the weaker link. So everyone's like, "I'll just play Blackwall all the time," and then I would, and then it would be like, so we would play fucking 3-on-3 all day long from sun up to sundown, and then once like us as a unit couldn't be stopped. Like you couldn't, like we were just a really good three piece basket, and then we can add a fourth or a fifth, and we would do really well too. But at the end of the day, people's feelings would be hurt, and they'd be like, "Oh, they just beat our ass all day," and I'm usually, I'll challenge him, and they would pick me out of line. So then I would have to play 3 more games to prove that I was good enough, as good as them, because they were picking out the weaker link. So it was fucking tough, man.
Yeah.
Like in the basketball culture. But yeah, Interface Records, Arson. Yeah, I said it. There you
Yeah.
go. I said it for you, brother.
So that party was so fun because there was
Do you
like
remember
a lot of
in
Mexican
Monty
music.
City, Thunder Rose. You guys had an
Thunder
Interface.
Road. That was
Road,
in
yeah.
Shenandoah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you had. I remember the Interface Records party where everyone went up and performed.
Yeah.
Gilberton, the firehouse.
Oh,
I wasn't at that
Gilberton,
one.
We used to throw like
Bro, we would do our
underground
own shows.
party.
Yeah, and I remember you did a show above it was like a rec center. It used to be a video store, and it was in Monty City. You know where the theater was? So you know where the is.
Yeah.
And then a couple buildings down, I'm on the top floor. You guys performed up there in Monty City.
I don't remember.
You had to go through the side door and go up to the very top floor, and they had a huge stage set up, and you guys did a whole show up there in Monty
Oh,
City the one
yeah?
time. Yeah, I remember that one too. You guys were young, and you guys were doing some dope ass shit.
Right?
You're putting like together those shows, and it was like a hip hop show.
We were throwing out like our own listening party.
Yeah.
Our
You were
own-
way ahead of your times. Like
Right.
Interface
There
Records
was-
was ahead of her time.
It definitely was. Now that you're, mentioning it, there was no YouTube back then.
No.
There was no Facebook.
And you
back
guys
then.
were fucking 15, 16 years old throwing shows together.
And we were putting tracks on MySpace
Yeah.
and recording on.
Because I remember True used to sing in the shows. It was like Interface Records, and then True would show up and sing. It was like a whole fucking thing. That was, dude, I was part of it. And now, like, thinking back on it, it was so ahead of its time.
Yeah. It was only flyers only,
Yeah, and it was
and it would be packed.
and it was all underage.
Yeah.
It was all underage.
Underage.
Yeah, it was like a youth movement. It was like all youth music. And
It was fun.
yeah, it was a good time.
It really was. Yeah.
Who else was a part of that? It was
Josh.
Arson, Josh, aka Crack.
Crack.
yeah.
Who else?
Thug.
Thug.
Kel.
Ryan. which is
Okay.
Thug. Young Thug. Kels, the good money
Kels?
kid.
Is he still in the area?
Yeah.
He's in Minersville.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Is he still rapping stuff?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Hmm.
I haven't heard of any of dude.
They went to Strikers
Yeah.
and did a show with.
Yeah.
with
We did
Kel.
shows in.
Really?
And
Oh my God.
with
Who,
Jay
who
Cannon.
held that? Guardian.
Guardian, yeah.
Yeah.
I fucking that just brings back so much interface record parties.
We
Wow.
have video
Yeah.
recorded.
We were in the Ramada in Hazleton.
Really?
Yeah.
At 15 years old, putting together hip hop shows in the area, multicultural, multiracial hip hop shows.
Yeah. We used to have.
We had a crew, right? That we
Mhm.
called. It was Arson. It was my brother Ruben.
Yeah, Ruben, how's he doing?
He's
Good.
good.
Yeah,
You know.
we
And,
always said he was like the pretty boy with his hair always
Yeah.
perfect and
and then it was Crack. You know.
Which
so
is a white boy.
the white boy.
yeah,
So I'm like, I got an idea. It's three of a kind. I'm
Yeah.
like, yo, right there.
Oh yeah, that was their group. It was.
and
three
Jay
of them,
Jay
three
used
of
to
a
make
kind.
Jay used to make the beats for Arson and stuff.
Jay made that was later on. Jay and then Tony Sang got on a couple tracks.
Yeah, that was fun, man.
It was. Imagine if we would have stayed together. It would have been like a bigger group.
Who said you can't still do it?
No, I'm just saying everybody's doing
Jay's
different
Jay's still
things.
making beats.
Yeah.
Yes, he has a lot of beats. I'm guaranteeing if you were.
We all lost contact too.
Well, this is the perfect way to bring it all together. People who are talented shouldn't let their past or whatever happened let it be what it was, and then if you're creative people and you're talented people, it shouldn't be the barrier.
It was no problem. It's just
Life's too
life.
short.
Life
yeah, life's too
happens.
short. Yeah,
Yeah.
And I think we were like the first rap group around
100%.
doing what we
I
were
can't
doing.
remember another one.
You know, like we were going and doing shows, Thunder Road. We were going to everywhere we could have gone. We did it, or we were planning it out. It's like, how much for the hall? We'll get it. We do our shows ourselves.
Yeah.
That's it. You know.
Dude, I still remember the Thunder Road one was shoulder to shoulder,
Right.
and then the one up in Monty City was packed too. I should rekindle with a girl at that night. That was crazy, man.
That was back when there was we used to hand out the
That's when Tony
CDs.
was a salute.
What do you mean a
I was
salute?
a salute.
Oh,
just-
you.
Yeah, I was bad news. Not that Tony, me. I was
Mhm.
bad news bears back then.
We would hand out mixtapes. for little CDs.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are the. I remember I ran their True's Facebook MySpace page.
Oh yeah.
I used to like put the graphics up and then put their music page up. You can't even find it anymore. I think MySpace got rid of all
I
that.
know. I
had videos there,
because
and
I
then
had
they
music
get
there
deleted.
too.
Yeah.
Everything got deleted. I'm like, I was looking for pictures that I have, but I can't find them.
Yeah.
They delete, I guess, from their servers because it's just taking space.
What a blast from the past. I completely. You said the thing. I was like, what the fuck was that record label called? Yeah, Interface Records.
Yeah.
It went
Crazy.
from it used to be Made Productions.
It was Made Productions, and I had an idea of how it was gonna look like, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, we'll have a maid, like a maid, grabbing like a
Come a little closer.
beat machine or whatever, you know, or a turntable, whatever, and have maid on the freaking thing,
Yeah.
and having a maid like doing crazy stuff.
I remember when,
You know?
when you guys were doing it, and I remember like yo, go play ball, and she's like, I gotta make all these beats, and we couldn't get him out of the house, and he would just be making, and then Tim would come over and get in the studio, which was a closet lined with styrofoam, so it gave a soundproof thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a lot of grinding. It was just young kids grinding, trying.
Our first studio was
Computer
old ass computer and
in their living room.
what was the name? Audacity.
We were using
I still use Audacity.
we were using Cool Edit Pro.
Cool edit,
Cool-
bro.
Bro. I was the one there all the time, busting my ass, and they'd be messing up, and I'd be getting so tired of it. I'm like, bro, come on, man, like you gotta get it. I'm tired of hearing the same crap over and over and over, you know. And the beat that we used was just a chopped out beat that I did from Daddy Yankee,
Yeah.
you know, and I just did something, looped it up. They started recording. Arson started recording. Ruben started recording. Crack started recording, and then they went to play somewhere. We took a break. I'm there, so she hops on it.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell? Like when they came back, it's like, oh yeah.
I honestly, now like thinking of it, in School County, I cannot think of another female rapper.
Me either.
No.
You're like one in a million. Like I mean, I'm not saying that there shouldn't be any. I think more people should step up. Like you were definitely one of a kind.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you were doing biracial rapping, like, which is crazy to me because, like I said, like you can say a verse in a Spanish. To me, Spanish already sounds like rap because you guys go so goddamn fast. You know what I mean? It's like, help me. You know, you're too quick. I mean, I speak English very fast too, but and then like to take the same beat and then take the same message and then convert it halfway through was very impressive to me. Like I think obviously someone who just only speaks one language, a person who speaks two languages is super impressive. But I don't know, like it's fucking fun. It's really fun.
Yeah.
So when you got the like you're not going to the next round, what was your feelings on that, or how did that play out?
Well, of course, I wanted to, make it to the next round, and I wanted to win, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But based off the feedback that I got from the judges on all times, I was okay. I was more than fine.
Yeah.
And like I said, based on that the genre was the Mexican regional music, I didn't even expect to advance on from the first one. So I was already grateful there the second time.
And you were speaking some real shit.
Yeah. And the second time, I think I got the best reaction like out of the season, you know? And so I was super happy after that. And then the third one, I was like, I'm just grateful to be here, like no matter what happens, because I know it was a risk.
Yeah. And there was a few times where they had to censor or bleep you.
Oh, yeah. I had cursing.
Yeah. Do you think that hurt you at all?
No.
Because were you the only one cursing?
No.
No? Oh, see, I didn't see the other contestants, so I
Yeah.
didn't know how the dynamic was. But there was a girl, a female rapper from Reading, who was on that show on Netflix where Cardi B and T.I. were all the judges for. Did you ever see that one?
Yeah.
She was good.
Yeah. I actually had seen her before the show. I already knew of
She was
her.
like this big. She was like a little left
Yeah,
eye,
yeah.
but she's like a little gangster ass left eye.
Yeah.
She was good.
Yeah. I had gone to perform in New York, and the guy that owned the club there, he showed me his music, and that he had a song featuring Beans. So that's how I actually knew her before
Yeah, I liked
the show.
her. Is she also Mexican, or was she?
No.
No?
I don't know what she is, but
Yeah.
she's not Mexican.
Okay, she was really good.
Yeah, she's.
Yeah. That was like, it was weird because like growing up, I didn't really like, I mean, we had mainstream female rappers, but they weren't getting the same respect. And then like, I think the first actual female rapper for me that got like a lot of love and respect was probably Nicki Minaj.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I mean, people hate on her because they think she's stupid, but I think she's a fucking genius. But Cardi,
Yeah.
when I say genius, I think she plays into exactly what you need her to be.
Yeah.
But she's a lot, I think she also plays a character. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
of course.
But she's also very liberating because she's willing to just be herself and say what's on her
She's
mind.
playful, very playful.
Yeah, I'm a fan. Heidi, that's all Heidi listens to. Heidi loves Cardi. But also, the cool thing with Heidi, she gets mistaken for being Spanish all the time, and then she probably pulls into her job parking lot or any parking lot, and she's been listening to a lot of Spanish music. She doesn't know what they're saying, but she likes it. So like, and a lot of that Spanish music she's got from Cardi. So when she has a song
Oh, okay.
featuring another Spanish
Yeah.
rapper, she like searches that person out and then listens to it. Like, there's so many times in the car where, and then she'll go to work and then go to like somebody at work and be like, I heard this in the rap. What does it mean? So we're gonna say so. So when Cardi says my thing is a certain word and yours is basudo or machata, so she's like, she went to work and found out what those words mean, and the lady's like, don't say that. But yeah,
That's funny.
yeah. So it's even hate her or love her, she's bringing a style of music into culture that she shouldn't be as big as she is because she doesn't just speak English. You know what I mean? And it's not easy for someone of Latin right now to be like Jennifer Lopez did it, but she did it speaking only English.
Yeah.
And then she came out and did like a Spanish song, and people were like, I hate it, but like it's just as good as the English, but you can't comprehend the lyrics, so it doesn't make it less relevant, you know?
Yeah. And I remember back in the day when the radio didn't even play any Spanish songs.
No.
And now I remember being shocked.
The
Despacito.
Macarena was the first one.
Despacito.
But when Despacito came out and I was hearing it on the radio out here, I was like, no way.
The first one I heard was Los Lonely Boys.
Oh, yeah?
Because
I never heard of
there's a verse in
Lonely
that
Boys.
song where they do it all in Spanish, and they go back to singing in English. and that got big radio play, and then Despacito, and then Cardi, I think was the next big one. Or no, like Pitbull. Pitbull was
Pitbull.
yeah.
Oh, Pitbull.
Now the one that's coming up that's doing a lot of, he's everywhere. Bad Bunny.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Who's the guy at my job that everyone listened to? Romeo
Santos.
Santos.
That's bachata, yeah.
Yeah. It's just. Ugh.
But
Yeah.
everybody like Lil Pump. I don't know if you heard of Lil Pump.
I heard him. I never listened to his music.
You know he's doing features with Dominican artists
Yeah,
just because it's catchy.
yeah.
You know.
Dude,
Wait.
Spanish music is fun.
Yeah.
So
I'll tell you what though, like I remember one of the first parties I went to underage was a Mexican party. You guys don't fuck around, man. You guys go all night long. Like you have like 4-day parties. They just don't end. They just go and go. It's like you need to be hydrated to fuck around with you guys.
The thing I like about like the Mexican parties is that either they'll bring a DJ and the DJ will play like all types of music to dance to and have fun to, you know, or they'll get an actual live band
Yeah.
and that's just so cool. Or
Yeah.
they'll have both. Like, and the food is amazing.
you'll never run out of beer.
You know,
No.
and you can dance and have fun. Like another culture party, like, and I'm not saying like another, like I'm saying like,
Let me know when you guys have another one. I want to be there.
you
I
know,
won't know anything that's going on. We'll have a blast. Just
Yeah,
keep feeding me beer.
it's
I'm good to
fun.
go.
fun. And of course, you know, there's beer.
Yeah.
Tequila-
It'll be
tequila.
a baby.
No,
It'll be
tequila.
a baby's
Ooh, I'm trying to keep my pants on.
first year party, birthday
Yeah.
party, and
Yeah.
they'll have beer.
I love it. That's
Yeah.
literally every Irish Italian family. Like I don't think I've ever been to a party where someone didn't have a 6-pack or a beer there. It could be a kid's birthday party. Like, you got beer? All right. You know what I mean? Like I love it. But since the contest, and you were doing this contest while you were still obviously working because you were plugging your contest.
Yeah.
So since the contest and now obviously COVID has probably put a big damper on things. You can't really go out and perform. What are some goals or things you have set up for the future?
Well, I'm definitely working on new music. You know, I have to release my mixtape out that I'm gonna. It's a small mixtape, but it's gonna be Spanish only.
Mhm.
And I want to do different genres. I was talking about it's kind of like a guitar. It's not quite country in Spanish, but
Like the sexy little Spanish guitar.
yeah, the Spanish guitar. You know, and
Like the Despacito guitar. Like that's a little bit of guitar in the beginning.
yeah,
of that.
yeah, something like that.
So what she's saying is, for the people who do listen to this show, she's looking for people that I know a lot of very talented people who can play guitar and a lot of talented musicians. So if you're someone in the area who does classic rock or anything, she wants to collaborate with you guys. She wants to bring the Mexican style rap and culture into the rock and roll a little bit because she's in an area where this is a very popular genre and she's kind of on an island alone and she wants to find a way to meet in the middle and make fun music.
Exactly. Like whoever wants to make a whole new genre or who wants to, you know, do something good and create magic because that's what's gonna happen. Listen, you can play the guitar, you know, you can play the bass. Like we're writing something good. Like,
Yeah.
point blank.
Is there anything else you want to get out today before we wrap up? That's something we missed because I know we went all over the place.
Yeah, we definitely did.
I had a great time. I'm happy. I'm happy we sat down and did this. This is really fun.
I know.
This isn't the last time. You're coming back.
Yeah, I'm also like willing, you know, I write for other people. Also if like I like rock music too. Like I grew up on No Doubt, like
Yeah.
you know, the Tragic Kingdom.
Yep.
Back then they had, you know, those CD magazines and like a bunch of CDs
You
like
get it-
promoted.
We get them for a
promotion. They
penny.
would come,
Yeah.
they would come in packs. Sometimes they would just send randoms, and that one was one that came, and
Oh,
I just
love
fell
that.
in love
Gwen
with
Stefani.
it. Gwen Stefani is great.
She's a vampire. She doesn't age.
Right?
There's something wrong with her.
Yeah.
And
Well, that was the thing with me and Tony. Like with Tony and Jay and all them, they I was like, yo, here's these cool rock bands, and they're like, well, here's awesome R&B and hip hop.
Yeah.
And we just like we swapped music, and I was just like, and then now today you're hearing rock mixed with hip hop and R&B and all that stuff. And now, like how we're saying, the Spanish culture is infiltrating that too, and it's like it's just so much fun, so much fun.
yeah,
It's like right now there's a new genre that just got created, right? And that's what she's saying about it, you know, that in music, you actually have to experiment different cultures in order to come out with something that people are never ever heard, and
Yeah.
you were gonna make it like, wow, I would never thought that you could have made something out of this.
Yeah, and we were getting
You
that
know?
with Mexican culture, black culture, and R&B black culture with hip hop, Spanish, and you guys were doing that at the age of 15 in School County, and probably only a handful of people know about it or still remember about it. Like
yeah,
it was so ahead of its time.
like I said, we have videos, cassettes that we have to convert
Oh, it's a DVD.
to DVD.
Yeah,
we have
or digital.
And where
Yeah.
they do that at nowadays?
There,
Yeah.
there is a thing you can do. It's like online. It's like a subscription thing. But what you do is you put in a box your files, like your cassettes, and you mail it to them, and then they mail you back the thumb drive with all the stuff on it.
But how can you mail it if you can't get it on the?
No, well, you mail them the cassette.
Oh, okay.
So you mail them the stuff that you want, and they mail you back your footage, and then they send it back with a thumb drive with
Oh,
all your
okay.
stuff digitally. It,
Oh,
it
cool.
is a company that does it. I'm
Yeah.
not sure how cheap they are, but they do
They-
do it.
I'm definitely.
she has
checking
that.
out.
We
Yeah.
have the interface record thing on that.
Yeah.
So
I if you ever get it converted, I would love to see some old interface records.
Yeah,
Stuff.
a lot of people want to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we
that
have
was-
pictures. I think some pictures we still have
It's crazy. It blows my mind that stuff.
when they went to Allentown.
Some people still have mixtapes. I remember like a few years back, they'll be like, "Oh, I have one of your old mixtapes." I'm like, "Send it to me," and they would. And now I remember even when I would lose some songs, I'd be like, "Well, at least it's only some songs." But now I'm like, we don't have any of
Anything
the
like-
old songs.
Yeah.
Like nothing.
I still have people come up to it and like I remember when you, Tony, and Justin came to Ashland and played everybody in basketball. That still happens to me. And then like, and then they see me all fat and they're like, "What happened?" I'm like, "I don't want to talk about it."
I don't want to talk about it. Life happened.
Yeah. Joint disorders and beer happened is what happened to me. But yeah, anything else in closing? That we-
But yeah, also, like I'm willing to collaborate myself.
Mhm.
You know, like anybody that's willing to work and, like I said, do
I
something.
have a few
good.
people in mind that I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna send in this interview and say this is someone you should reach out to.
Yeah.
Because I know a dude who I believe he may be half Mexican, half white, and he's really talented on a guitar, and I think you'd be a good fit. Tom, I'm talking about you, Tom. I think you and Tom would be because he's a guy who plays in this band. I know the Boys Upstairs, and they're like a party band. You fill them up with beer, and they just keep singing all night and have a great time. But the funny thing is he sings La Bamba.
Oh, okay.
But like a lot of people just do the la 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 bum, but he knows all because he speaks Spanish, so he does the entire la
Oh,
bamba.
he speaks Spanish?
Yeah, but he
Oh,
doesn't look
wow.
like a Spanish. Like he looks like just a white dude with like he just looks like a normal.
Does he have a group or it's just
Yeah, he's
him?
part of the Boys Upstairs, but he's also like he's a super talented singer, musician. He's just all around very very talented. I think you guys would be a good collaboration.
Cool.
So I think he would understand your culture but he also knows the other culture.
Yeah.
That's the guy I kind of have in
Where
mind.
are they from?
He's from he lives in Pottsville.
Oh, okay, cool. That's,
Yeah. Very, very
Fine.
talented. Love him to death.
Mm.
Actually, when the podcast almost ended because the computer I was using was about to take a shit. He came over and helped me like fix it and clean it and gave me a couple more months out of life out of it so I can raise the money to get the new one. Good dude. Really, really good dude. Yeah, I think that's the guy I have in mind. I'm about speaking things into existence. So if you really want something, if you
Awesome.
speak enough at it, I feel like you put the energy into it, it happens.
Awesome.
That's just kind of my weird belief. But
I think that's
I
true
believe
though,
that too.
yeah.
because like even with her, you know, I get an idea, and I show her. I'm like, yo, this is gonna be good.
I like
know?
that too because you're about creating stuff, but you're also creating for other people. And I mean, like this platform is obviously my platform, but this whole platform is to help other people and understand. I probably talked a lot because I know you were a little nervous, at first. So I try to. So some people in the comments were like, "Yo, this dude talked the whole time, right?"
Mm.
But I try to gauge my people I'm with. So I think the next time you come on and we talk a little bit more about your upcoming, because I want to know more about you being raised in School County and your perception on things. You know what I mean? And what got you to where you are. Like today was a little bit about just music and I think breaking down barriers culturally and telling a little bit how we met and stuff. But I think there's definitely a part 2 here for all three of us to hang out. And I'm very interested to hear a little bit more of your personal story and then tie the music in later if you're down for that.
Yeah, definitely. I had fun here.
I'm glad you
Enjoyed
came.
The beer.
Yeah. There's always beer here. There's always beer. Anything you want to plug or get out there?
No, I just want to say that, you know, we're the kind of people that are willing to support everybody in their businesses or whatever way we could. Artists, whatever, you know, we're willing to collab, whatever. And also, like I said, be on the lookout on the new EP that should be releasing. You know, it's gonna be in Spanish, you know, but
I'll listen to it.
it's gonna be something that to probably was unexpected for other people. We have some artists I'm talking that might be on it. I'm not sure. Maybe might be later on, but we're getting there. You know.
Yeah. Do you guys have Bandcamp?
No,
You know what Bandcamp is?
no.
So Bandcamp is kind of like Spotify, but it's made for independent artists. So you upload your album on Bandcamp, and you'd be like, I charge $5 or I charge $1, and then but when I go to your album, I can give you more than what you expected because if I feel like I liked it, I can go back and so it's more or less a platform. It's kind of like Facebook. It's like Facebook and Spotify mixed together, where people can comment and talk. But it's also a place where independent artists can go and upload their music and get support. But the person gives you the person who's buying your music has the opportunity to give you more than you expected. So you can set your
Nice.
album price for $5, or you can put your music for free and just be like, whatever you're willing to give me, you can do.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
It's a really cool little system. A lot of local bands in this area use it. Then you can upload your merch and stuff to it as well. It's a really cool platform. You should look into it.
Also, you know, like whoever's watching, if you guys could, you know, help share, support,
Come a little closer.
get the name out there, you know, Miss Lili, or look out for it. You know, like this whole thing, you know, is so we could get more known. And
Yeah.
I'm not shy from helping anybody else out. Also, like, you know, I'm
I want a Miss
more
Lily t-shirt.
than willing to, more than willing to help, you know, and learn different things. You know, there's different things maybe that we've done that you haven't done, or vice versa. I love learning different things, especially, you know, I love working with like-minded people, whether it's art, music, video, you know, anything like that, just creating in general. I love it.
Yeah,
So,
I suck at video editing and video and all that, but I have the equipment to do it. So if you know someone who knows how to do it,
No way.
I have no problem renting, like coming out and helping you film and letting you use equipment as long as it doesn't get broke. And
oh,
then
cool.
so anything you need, I can help. Like,
There you go.
I have the equipment to do it. I just don't know how to do it.
There you go. We
Yeah.
can edit.
I have really, really nice equipment just to do what you see here. You know,
Yeah, and
But-
this is a nice setup.
I appreciate it.
And also, I appreciate, you know, you know, inviting us to your program, and, you know, like I said, the stuff that you do, because it's an outlet for us, you know, independent artists or the indies that, you know, are trying to find a way out there. You know, this is a nice platform that you do.
I'm trying. I'm giving it my best. I'm very proud of where I come from, regardless of the negative. I try to always see the positive. I think where we were raised made us who we are, but I always try to find those diamonds in the rough in our area. And I am trying to branch out more to find more diamonds in the rough in other people's areas and learning more stories. So there's going to be a point coming very soon to this network where you're going to see some more video where it's me and somebody over the internet. I don't want to exclude people from this area, but sometimes from people in this area don't reach out. So I don't want to bug people. You know what I mean? It's going to keep going. We're getting close to episode 100. I want to thank you guys so much. Like I said, this isn't the last time. I want you back.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I had an absolute blast. It was good to reconnect, and
Yeah.
and there's a lot of conversation that we had today that we didn't have before.
Right.
And it was really nice to get that out, especially on my side. I know I talked a lot, but like I love you guys, man. Like, you know, it's been a long time,
Yeah.
and it's I'm glad that, you know, we were able to reconnect through the job and form this friendship and keep it
Yeah,
going.
it was a while too, like
Yeah.
a little disconnect,
Yeah.
you know.
So let's get that back together, and let's. I mean, I'm not musically talented, but if I'm good on that, what you would consider this promotion side,
Yeah.
let's do more stuff together. And like I said, you have your graphic design stuff. I have some people that are very good graphic designers and logos too. Maybe you guys can collab. You and our girl Tori here, who makes all of our logos. But I'm always about we're in a very impoverished area, and a lot of people who are very creatively driven. And if I can get more and more people together to create more stuff and support one another and let people know in our area that we have these talented people, we can keep growing.
Yeah, like today alone, I learned from the one band that you showed me that are
The Collective
super
Contact.
dope.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's Greg's band. They're
super
so
dope.
good.
Like,
So good.
I actually like want to meet them and
Oh, they're so good.
see what we could do.
Right before COVID, we had them play at Strikers, and I want them back in the area so bad. They're so talented. Yeah.
Yeah.
Greg, and I don't want to say it's Greg's band, but the band that Greg's in is super good.
And around here, they don't have a lot of diversity. Like, it's usually a band will be like maybe one genre or really do only like the old songs.
Yeah.
It's nice to see that they have like a nice, wide variety.
And then Craig, if you're still listening, definitely hit her up, get her on Artist Mashup, get some shows.
Definitely. Let's work.
Yeah. All right. Well, that'll do it. Interviews, everyday people. Thank you guys so much. Make sure if you're still hanging out to share this, let people know it's a thing. And share the stream, as well as check the links below. Give them a follow on Instagram, both their pages. Check out her YouTube channel. Give them a follow. I'm still stuck at like 470. I cannot break that barrier.
That's good.
It's good, but 1,000 subscribers makes YouTube pay me. I'm trying to get that money from YouTube, you know. But when I give it away on Facebook, a lot of people don't want to go over and show the love on YouTube as well. So it's tough.
That's why you gotta just keep it at YouTube.
No, I like to branch out.
Just keep it coming. I think like the more that you expose yourself, it's like one person more will see it, and then it's like they'll
just casting a wide net.
Share it, even if one person shares it to somebody. You never know who's gonna be your biggest fan.
Yeah,
and they'll support you, and the fans that like it, they'll find their like-minded people and put you on, be like, yo, you gotta hear this girl, or you gotta
I call them
check
my
this
family.
program.
I feel weird saying that I have a fan, so I say you're part of the family. That's how I look at it.
No, and I mean sometimes they're better than family. Like
I agree.
People that you've known for years don't support you.
That's very true.
The ones that fall in love with your craft and they're like, oh my God, like, thank you for doing this. And you're just like, what?
If you want to find out if people truly love you, be creative. Because if you start creating, you'll find out who's literally who has your back and who doesn't.
Yeah.
Because like you said, so there's times where family are like, I like what you're doing. Do you ever listen? No.
Yeah. And shout out to the people that do support and that are always like hitting me up. And, like I'm super grateful. Like and it's a nice feeling, that you're doing something and somebody from like in a different part of the world is like watching.
I have one quick question. Who shot your music video?
The latest one?
Both of them.
Okay, the Vivo Mi Vida, the one that was in Heritage Day in Shenandoah, her name is Monica Hunter. She goes by Elephant Eloquence.
It was good.
Yeah.
And then the other one.
And the other one is Big Flicks.
That one looked perfect. That one looks serious.
He does
There's
awesome
some drone
work.
camera
They
shots
both do
in
awesome
there.
work, but yeah.
That dude was using some drones and
like again grateful and blessed, to work with both of them. Are very great people, very humble, and they worked with artists that are already established, and I'm just like super grateful to have somebody of their caliber, to work with me.
Yeah, both music videos look legit.
So yeah, and I'm like, you know what, I'm on the right path because they're working with people that where I want to be. So we're doing good.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you guys so much. Here's some Steve Fulton to get us out of here, and we'll see you guys next time. This is Interviews with Everyday People.
Bye.
Sorry for being so sorry all of the time. So sorry for being sorry all of the time. So sick and tired of sorries all the time. So sorry for being sorry all of the time. But I got